What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, my friends, and let's get into it. All right, here we are on this, the 7th of July, sitting at about 1.363 cents. 7 hours, about 8 hours left in the day, just under there. We have found a lower low today. We do have a slightly lower price here, and that's okay, guys. That is totally fine. You know, sometimes volatility happens, and I think in the wake of this volatility, we're still looking good. We likely will find either a double bottom or a higher low. Hell, go lower than that low, and I still think that we're fine, but I don't think we will. My expectation, I've noticed a lot of cryptos have had significance, altcoins, I should say, have significance at their 786 to 886 range recently. Bitcoin even has as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we found support around 1.31 cents to 1.28 cents. Somewhere in there, 1.36 cents now. It's very possible that we move up, but hey man, if we're looking at this here from a daily time frame, that's a pretty significant drop from that high to low, right? It's one of the more significant drops that we've had. We've definitely had more significant moves up, over the past couple of weeks here, but let's just look at OnyxCoin. I would bet a lot that we don't have even like 4% volume here on this day. Let's see. Let's get it. If we have 4.2% volume, it's because of the hat. Okay. All right, 4.1%. It's right there. Okay, so low volume, super low volume. XCN, no stress at all. Know what you're holding. Exactly. Are you staking? I mean, you're getting rewards every damn day. You know, every damn minute, really. Pushing boundaries in DeFi with real innovation. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, they are. I feel like these might be bots. I don't know. Yeah, I think these might be bots. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe not all of them. Too many people, XCN, too many people scam this scam. That FUD is fuzz. Maybe say this is a scam. FUD this, FUD that. I don't know. Oh, scam this, scam that, FUD this, FUD that. I invest, sit back and laugh at all the FUD. Yeah, hell yeah. True that, Turtle. True that. I think that guy's not a bot. Yeah, man. XCN. The thing is, I've yet to see one solid argument why XCN is a scam. I've yet to see one solid argument. And then here's the deal, because this is the only thing that you might have even a slight leg to stand on, but I'm going to kick it right out from underneath you. We don't know who's in charge of XCN. We don't know who the DAO is. Okay, well, who's the Bitcoin DAO? Who is the Bitcoin DAO, right? XCN's no more a scam than Bitcoin is, and it's actually a lot more innovative. I shouldn't say that. I don't know if that's fair. Bitcoin's innovative to a different degree. Without it, we wouldn't have all this other stuff. So maybe Bitcoin is actually, not maybe, definitely it is more innovative, but especially for the time that it came out and everything. But there's a lot going on, right? There's a lot going on here. Definitely not a scam coin. Scam coins, you guys, I don't know if you've ever invested in a scam coin. I have. This is what they do, right? They'll pump up like this, just like that. But when they dump, it's called a pump and dump. It's called a rug pull. This is not a rug pull, my friends. This is accumulation. This is accumulation, right? And you can even see here, just deducing with logical reason here, that after we ripped through the freaking roof and went to the moon, we had a pretty solid downtrend. Very nice and tame, very meticulous, and well structured. Absolutely well structured. Had a nice move up, and if you notice this downtrend, that's also very well maintained and well structured. It's at a lesser slope than the last one. Almost as if there's less selling pressure this time around. Almost as if maybe there's some buying pressure going on, just like there was here whenever we started to turn things around a little bit. I think that we're going to rip through the roof. And again, of course, we look at OnyxCoin on CoinMarketCap almost all the time here, looking at the percentage, the less than 6% volume, even less than 4% volume on a 24-hour basis, volume to market cap ratio only happens when we're moving down. When we move up, that's not when it happens. No, that's absolutely not when it happens. When we move up, we get the volume. We get 10% volume, more than that, right? That shows interest. There are people who are buying, right? Absolutely. They're sucking up the supply. When that supply dries out, when every last seller is gone, which they're dwindling by the numbers now. Maybe it's just some traders, if anybody's getting token rewards, stuff like that, taking their profits, but it's very nominal amounts at this point in time. I think we're just waiting on the rest of the market to rip, and whenever we do rip, it's going to be glorious. Absolutely. Patience. Patience is key. And the only people that are having a hard time with OnyxCoin here, they're the people who are probably new and don't have patience, man. Patience will be ingrained in you. If you are not patient, it just takes one gem. It takes you one time to buy the low or buy the relative high, and and you sell and you're like, I'm done, this coin's a scam, and then it does this, and if you just held, it would have made you freaking rich. It just takes one experience like that to basically ride or die any investment that you have. You gotta know when to call it too. Don't get me wrong. Like there's definitely like for example, if anybody remembers Blue Zell, we talked about Blue Zell, BLZ a lot. That was one that we had interest in. It's an interesting project. I don't think it was a scam, but when they got delisted from Binance, that's a no bueno. Absolutely not. You get delisted when there's certain things from a fundamental level that occur. You kind of got to get the hell out of there, man. You know what I mean? It's not really worth messing with at that point in time. Let me see something real quick, guys. Hold on. I just got to make sure. Yeah, okay, we're all the way up. Okay. Let's see here. Done a lot of talking. Let's do the TA. Okay. 1 hour time frame here. Tons of volume. Seriously though, haters, trolls out there, please educate us. I will, if it's a well thought out comment, please educate us. Why is XCN a scam? Because I don't think you actually have any proof of that. I don't think that you have anything articulated or valid or logical to say. It's just for some reason you don't like it. Maybe you don't like me. It's pretty hard to imagine, I know, but maybe that's what it is. I don't know. You probably lost money. I'm gonna guess right now the majority of the haters and the trolls out there, they have probably lost money with this thing. Because of that, it's a scam, right? That's how that works. Yeah, 1.37 cents. We've all been there, man. We've all been there. We learned though. Again, patience. Patience is a thing in this market that really just you get ingrained painfully into. MACD, who cares? 1 hour time frame. It doesn't really matter. It's when you move up, it's not a big deal. When you move down, it's really not a big deal. Moved up here, wasn't a big deal. Moving down, I mean, we'd probably go a little bit lower. Picking up in volume, I would say the price is more telling than the MACD is right now. 49 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. We're moving up. I would assume we come back down. Yeah, no volume at all coming back down. We're eating back most of this candle. We're probably going to come down lower. 1 hour RSI looks like it's bouncing off the oversold zone, which is nice. But if this candle closes red, we will not be bouncing off the oversold zone. We'll be getting deeper into it. This look of a bounce will go away. But it could close green, and even if we bounce here, that's nice, but doesn't mean we're out of the woods. It kind of be a weird area to stop here because, again, we're not really in an area that makes sense relative to this low to high here. Yeah, low to high here, right? 1 hour time frame. You stopped like right below your golden ratio zone. I mean, it's not that it can't happen, but I would think you go to the 786 at least, you know, and that's what the stochastics and the MACD would indicate, in my opinion. The RSI has a chance to bounce here, but if you come back down over the next hour, then probably not. 4 hour time frame, looking at this here, you got some bullish divergence on the stochastics. I wouldn't call that bullish divergence on the RSI. You're looking to bounce off the 40 line here. If this 4 hour candle, now what would be interesting would be if we came down over the next 3 hours and 48 minutes, if we came down to the 786 and then came back up to close green, that would be interesting. I would think that's a low. Even if we come down here and we close down here, you know, that still could be our low, or like somewhere in this area overall. 1.27 to 1.32 cents, right? Something in that zone there. But it would be interesting. Maybe we find our low today. If not sometime today, sometime tomorrow. You know it's going to happen. 4 hour MACD, we're looking at it here. Starting to turn the tide with the oscillator. We love to see that. But still in a bearish position. You look like you're about to cross red. So again, you know, today's probably going to finish on a more red note. Stochastics are coming from the overbought zone to the oversold zone. The orange line, the slower moving oscillator, has rejected the 60 a couple times, multiple times, and we haven't even gotten into the oversold zone yet. So I think, again, probably not even just by the end of today, but going into tomorrow or even the next day, we actually continue to drop lower, or we're at the lows without having any kind of bounce. We might find our low here, kind of chill, whatever, get a lower low, something like that, get some bullish divergence, and then we start to rip. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to look, but that's just an assumption, right? 1.32 to 1.27 cents, somewhere in that zone there. Daily time frame. As we zoom out, things do look more bullish, but I will say that's not ideal there, right? Flipping red here. We were trying to get this above the zero line, and that's okay. Sometimes you gotta do that. Maybe what we get here is a higher low, right, and then another higher low here with the red iteration. But there's no bullish divergence there, so I guess that doesn't matter. If we go below there, we could set up for bullish divergence on the MACD, on the histogram, and even the oscillators. So there's bullish potential there, but I don't know if we go below this low here. Let's see that actually. What would, if Bitcoin went down to like 102K? It's like a 5% drop. Now OnyxCoin doesn't have to double that, but typically it would. Yeah, I mean you probably would. You'd see like a double bottom, if not lower. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying if it does happen, I'm not worried about it. I'm definitely not calling for that, but if it does happen, I'm not worried about it. That was a perfect bounce, by the way. That low there that we're talking about, if we hold that, and I think that we will hold that, that was a perfect bounce off of the 618, off the golden ratio. Contrary to that, though, we did reject the 382 and we did not find support at the 0.5. Typically, you do in this situation return back to the golden ratio. I don't know, guys. Maybe we are getting set up to go slightly lower. I'm open to it. I wouldn't be worried if it happens. Rejecting the 60 here. We're about to get to the 40 on the daily RSI. That's an area that you'd expect to find support at. I'm sticking with the idea that we go just a little bit lower. We probably don't go below these lows, but again, if we do, it'd be barely below that low. I think one way or another, man, whether it's here, whether it's here, whether it's there, we're very near the low, and we should start seeing some upside probably later this week. That'd be my assumption. 3-day time frame, as we zoom out, it only gets more bullish, right? 3-day RSI, overbought as hell. You can't get oversold to save your life. We are getting, we're at the same areas that we found support back here when we were at our relative low points. You found support right at this area, literally right here. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. Found support right here. Okay, I guess you actually did go a little bit lower. Had a little bit of a bounce and then continued to go lower, found your final drop. I feel like we're having that exact same kind of thing here. A little bit higher, a little bounce, and then a final drop. But will it be a higher, lower, lower, low? That remains to be seen. Looking at the MACD on the daily time frame and the 3-day time frame, if we go below these lows again, we're set up for some bullish divergence, which is nice to see. Stochastics are set up for bullish divergence, but with this, I would definitely think that we have lower to go, rejecting the 50, all that stuff. We kind of, I wouldn't say we're in a downtrend, but it doesn't look good. It would make me think that we go lower. So, but overall, it is very good. It is very healthy, very, very bullish stuff that we're in right now. 3-day time frame also, if you look at the stochastics, the amount of time that we spent oversold here, we're basically at that same amount of time now. So any day, any week now, we're going to be breaking out and ripping to the upside. Weekly time frame. Bullish divergence? Is that bullish? It is bullish divergence, yeah. The more that I'm looking at this, the more that I'm kind of hoping that we go below this low, actually. Like, I hope we close the week below this low. Because if we can do that, we're getting more bullish divergence. That's just going to set us up for higher prices, you guys. All in all, whenever we do start moving up higher, after we find resolution between, let's just say, 1.2 cents to 1.32 cents, somewhere in that range, once we find resolution, the immediate target areas that we're considering are anything from about like 4 cents to 8.2 cents, probably something in the middle there at about 5 or 6 cents. That's my guess. And then we'll find some turbulence, right? Consolidate, and then going into August, we should be ripping and running up to 26 to 32 cents. That's my assumption. So I got nothing else for you guys. I didn't realize that my 200 level was red. We need to change that. Let's make it pop a little bit more. You guys can end the video though if you want to. You don't got to stay around for this. I'm just gonna do this here, and then we'll make it. That's a little too dark. There we go. I want it lighter. Yes. But thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. And hit that like button and subscribe. Oh, I did not. That's the wrong. You know what? Let's just make the 1886 that color too. So I thought it was the same color, but yeah. But that pops a little bit more than that like dark purple color, right? Okay. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.